Good morning, everyone. We're live from Houston, Texas. This is Wednesday, August 22nd, and show number 83, live with Captain Housekeeper. So glad you're joining us today. It's hump day, isn't it? Yeah, Wednesday, hump day. If you're Captain Charles, it's second hump day. He has 3 every week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think that's hilarious. But, you know, I currently only have 1 hump day. Actually, since I work from home, I don't have any hump days. It's every day's a work day, it seems. So anyway, it's good to see everybody. As you can see, I moved back over to the studio wall where I used to shoot all the time, right? And the reason is because after the show yesterday, and I did some other things. Remember, I was going to go back over where I was kind of cleaning up that declutter wall over there. I used to call it the wall of shame, and now I'm calling it the wall of gratitude because I'm grateful for everything that's there. It all represents such amazing little periods of my life, little moments. And as I go through it, I'm having a lot of fun being grateful for all those moments in my life. However, when I dove in yesterday and kind of moved stuff around, what I realized this morning when I came into the studio to do the show is I couldn't sit over there because it's kind of all upside down right now. So the easiest thing was to come back over here. So you're gonna have to trust me that that's still being worked on. My wall of gratitude. They shouldn't call that show Hoarders. They should call it Grateful People because they have a lot to be grateful for. Anyway, so Captain Diana and Captain Terry were here in the chat room before the show started. It was fun chatting with them. If you're new to the show, you can always come 15, 20 minutes early. I got the chat room open. Looks like some other people came in. Captain Sandra, Captain Kristen, good morning. It's good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. Captain Terry is learning that naps are a wonderful thing. I actually took a nap yesterday, Terry. I don't get them that often, and there was this little moment, and I was like, what am I going to do next? The dogs were asleep. Nobody else was here. It was just that little bit of window, and it was like 40 minutes. I woke up delirious, but I got a nap in. Well, good morning, Captain Pam. Haven't seen you in a long time. I know work's been super busy, so I'm glad that you're here. It's good to see you. It's going to be 101 degrees here with 500% humidity today. Because I woke up at, 1 or 2 in the morning, and it was raining so hard, it was making the dogs bark a little bit. Like they were like, whoo, whoo. Like what's going on? It was adorable. Woke me up, but it was pouring so hard. So the ground got a little saturated, which is good because we need the rain. But it's making the heat today very humid. So everyone, we're hiding indoors. So Captain Kristen says, I don't wake up well from naps, so I avoid them as much as possible. Yeah, I understand that, Kristen. I've woken up and I don't know what day it is anymore. Like literally I've woken up and it's like, where am I? So I don't take them as often as I used to, but when I do, it's just I feel like, wow, I had time to take a nap. That's something to be grateful for, I guess. Captain Pam says 20 minutes is the best for a power nap. So no more than 20 minutes, huh? After that, it makes you groggy. Well, I think you're right, because when I woke up from my 40-minute nap yesterday, Pam, I really kind of felt discombobulated. So maybe 20. Maybe I should set an alarm next time, or a timer for 20 minutes. I mean, it's worth it because if I get a moment to take a nap, I just feel like I've treated myself well. So I'll set a timer next time and I'll report back whether or not I wake up more refreshed. I think taking naps at work was a big trend back in the 80s. Like they recommended people go into the bathroom stall and lean against the wall and take a 20-minute nap or a 15-minute nap. That is better than being completely exhausted. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Who knows? So yesterday, the pool service was coming yesterday. So that was good, but I knew in the morning, I could just tell. We had had some rain and I had accidentally overflowed the pool a little bit with fresh water. So I had a feeling that the pool guy was going to have to do what he did, which he had to shock the pool. It was just a little bit too much bacteria in the pool. It was a little murky. So because he shocked the pool, we're not able to get into it for 24 hours. So last night, oh, Koyana, she's the younger of the two. She's so insane about the pool. She loves it so much. And what she does this thing that when it's pool time, according to her, she follows me around, and any move I make, she jumps up and starts huffing, like breathing really heavily, and bumping my leg with her nose as I'm trying to walk. And it's like, dude, I'm just going to the kitchen. And she's like, is it pool time? But we didn't get to go to the pool because it was shocked. So we had a quiet, well, we didn't have a pool evening. I got out some of their squeaky toys and let them play with them. They can't play with them too long because they end up eating them. Oh, good morning, Captain Deborah. Good to see you. You're not alone. Good morning, Captain Angela. It's good to see you too. Thunder and lightning, no rain. Yeah, you know, Captain Angela, that's exactly what happened here all evening long. There was all this lightning, you know, as the sky was lighting up, it was booming and thundering, you know, before bedtime. And I kept looking out and it was bone dry. So it was going, all of it was going around us, and I was a little worried because the grass is getting a little, it's really getting stressed. And I'm afraid about losing the trees. So I was very happy that it actually, the heavens opened up in the middle of the night and dumped a bunch of rain on us. Captain Sandra says, I don't nap anymore. I used to all the time, but you'd rather be crocheting. Good for you. You got your priorities in line. Hey, 9 people showed up. Good to see you 9 people here live. Join in the chat room if you're not already chatting. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I appreciate it very much. If you are new, be sure to subscribe. Captain Terry said Katy, Texas got a little bit of rain, but not much. It's really weird because, you know, the weather service, you know, I have the Weather Channel app on my phone, and it's always alerting me to things like, oh, there's a rainstorm going to start. And I'll look on the map and it'll just pass me by, just like 2 miles over there. So because we're in the city, it tells me that it's going to rain, but then it doesn't rain. It rains over there in that neighborhood. Or sometimes we get it and they don't get it. It's just hit and miss. What are you going to do, right? Water your plants. So I didn't have to water the sod this morning because of that good soaking, so that was good. I'm still in that period. It's not been a week yet, so I have to water the sod at least once a day. Remember they put sod down when they dug up the plumbing pipes, the sewer pipes a couple weeks ago. So I want to make sure that survives this heat wave and gets established. So, but I didn't have to this morning. So, good morning, Julie. Good to see you. She said, glad chat is working today. I was getting scared for Drew yesterday, thinking we weren't listening. Captain Julie, you don't know. I was just off on this, I don't know, stream of consciousness about gratitude yesterday. And I kept looking at the comments to see, does anyone have any thoughts, right? And nobody was saying anything. It was crickets. And I was like, I'm losing them. I'm losing my audience. They're bored to death. They hate what I'm saying. And it turns out that YouTube was having a complete meltdown, apparently. So, you know, the chat room wasn't working anymore. As soon as the show started, it kind of locked up. So nobody could say anything anyway. I didn't know that. There's no way for me to know, right? So I just kept going. And then I kept looking like, okay, well, have a nice day, everyone. See you tomorrow. But then when I tried to turn off, there's a little X up at the corner of the screen that you clicked, and then you say, you know, the live stream has ended. And when I pushed the live stream has ended, a big notification box popped up and said, YouTube is unable to stop this live stream. There's like 10 minutes of me like drinking coffee at the end of that video going, I don't know what to do. So finally I actually just turned the iPad off and disconnected it from the internet, because I figured if it's disconnected completely, you know, it can't be streaming from this device. Later on when I checked, there wasn't like 3 hours of dead space at the end of the video. I was just glad the video didn't get lost. There was a lot of talking about gratitude. I didn't want to have to repeat myself. Anyway, I'm glad y'all are patient with stuff like that. Yes, it was funny, Captain Chili. Captain Deborah, yeah, you tried to talk yesterday, but kept saying an error occurred and wouldn't send it. Yeah. And then when I turned on my iPad this morning, and then I always check to make sure there's no YouTube app update. When I opened that, it said YouTube has crashed. So I think YouTube was having an internal meltdown. It wasn't our devices. It wasn't me. It wasn't you. It wasn't the internet. It was YouTube itself was having some type of crisis. So, you know, it's a free service, so can't complain. Yeah. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate it very much. I did have a moment of panic on an existential level, Captain Julie. But a couple people then texted me privately and said I couldn't comment. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when it wouldn't turn off, I was like, well, what can you do? We'll see if anyone shows up tomorrow. So thank you for your patience with those YouTube issues. And I can't emphasize enough to make sure your devices are up to date. So this morning I already went for groceries. I'm very excited. I got up, got going. The dogs, you know, can't go in the pool today because it's still being, you know, during that 24-hour shock period. So I ran to Sprouts this morning and got groceries because I knew I needed to do this. I know myself so well. I needed to go to a different store to get the groceries for a few days because I always get like 3 days at a time. Because right there, you can't see it because you're on camera, but right there, about a quarter of a mile from my house, today is the grand opening of a Whole Foods. Grand opening. If you understood my neighborhood and where I live in the city, you'd understand what a miracle this is, that there's even a grocery store near me. It's just, and they put in a Whole Foods right there. So I had to buy groceries at a different store, which I love, Sprouts, because then I won't be tempted to go over there on the day that it opens and try to do my grocery shopping because it's going to be a madhouse. I mean, just getting out of my neighborhood now, the traffic is just going to be, it's going to be an adventure. We don't know how it's going to work out. They might have to put a light at the end of our road, which is ridiculous because when I moved into this neighborhood, it was kind of like nobody even had heard of it. It wasn't very, it's a little dicey, let's put it that way. Yes, I love Whole Foods too, Captain Pam. Thank you for that very sweet comment, Angela. I didn't feel alone, but I was a little concerned. You never know. You know, I've gone on and on about stuff, maybe like at a cocktail party, and had people back out of the room to get away from me. I get passionate about stuff. So I thought maybe it was a internet version of everyone just kind of backed out of the room. Like they had enough of that. So anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Angela. If you missed my rant about gratitude, you can watch yesterday's show. So, no, I won't be going. I actually am going to be going to the grand opening. I'm planning to, like mid-afternoon before people get off work. I'm going to stop in there because, of course, I want to check it out. And I want to say I've been waiting years for this place to open. They've been talking about opening it for 3 years. So I'm going to go in there, but I don't want to go in there with the intention of buying 3 days worth of groceries because it's not going to be fun. But it'll be fun to go in and check out the layout. Whole Foods has this new approach. You know, they got bought out by Amazon last year sometime. So this store is actually being opened by Amazon. So it's the first one that I've gone to that actually opened new as Amazon. And they have this new concept that they're trying out here where they're opening up areas of the store to, like, there's a real fancy restaurant in there, and there's also like a juice bar, which I've seen in other Whole Foods. But the fancy restaurant is South African food. I love South African food so much, and this restaurant has won awards across Houston, but the closest one is way over at the mall. This doesn't go to the mall, not for the last 10 years. Get off my lawn, I can't take it. It's just not worth it to me. So to be able to get that South African food is going to be quite a treat. I'm very excited. So we'll see how. I'll give you a full report on that Whole Foods now that it's owned by Amazon. It's apparently supposed to be very high techy. we'll see. I know that you can order your groceries and pick them up, which a lot of places do, but you can go there and you can order the groceries and then sit and have a coffee while somebody runs around and picks it all up for you and just brings it to you. And I think you can have your Amazon packages delivered to a locker there, which I think is kind of cool too. If you don't want to, you know, you don't have a street address you're comfortable giving out or whatever, you know. Packages get snatched off your porch, so you can do that there too. Captain Deborah, no one wanted to be grateful yesterday. I'm sure they desperately wanted to comment, Deborah. YouTube was being stingy. Captain Angela says, I never go to grand openings. I don't have the patience. You know, I went to a grand opening when I lived in Dallas. So that's why I was like, gosh, that was so many years ago. It was a grand opening of a really fancy grocery store. And as I was walking in, people were walking out with this horrified look on their face, and they were literally telling me, don't do it, don't go in there. And when I got in, I realized why. It's like, it was wall-to-wall people. It wasn't fun. And people were actually doing shopping. They had like grocery carts full of groceries. I don't know what they were thinking. Anyway, so while I have a lunch meeting to go to, another lunch meeting with a different person this time. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what I'm going to get. It's probably going to be something chicken fried based on where we're going. Chicken fried chicken is one of my favorite things. I don't think I'd ever had it before moving to Texas. And when I worked in Dallas at that UT Southwestern, we had a big cafeteria. And one of my new friends there, he was actually a vice president, but he was like a local Dallas guy. And he was like, well, Wednesdays is chicken fried steak day. I was like, is this a thing? He said, yeah, everyone knows Wednesdays is chicken fried steak day. So I learned to love the chicken fried steak. But I prefer chicken fried chicken just because I'm a chicken kind of guy. Captain Pam says, we live in a small town. You should have seen the crowds for the grand opening of our first Denny's. Oh, I can only imagine. It's this weird hysteria you get caught up in. Because of the neighborhood I live in, literally no grocery stores around me. Literally, I have to drive through the city to another area of the city to get to a grocery store. So when they announced this Whole Foods, we were all like in shock. And then they had all these delays in opening it. And then Hurricane Harvey hit, you know, literally a year ago. They had just broken ground and it was just dirt, you know, because they had cleared out that whole lot. And then Hurricane Harvey hit and we got like literally 4 feet of rain, which just washed away all their work for weeks and weeks. So it kept getting delayed, and now that it's open, I can't believe it's open. I drove past it this morning to think maybe I just dreamt it all. I don't know. Captain Deborah says she could go for chicken fried right now. Well, I wish you were here, Deborah. We could go for chicken fried together. It'd be a lot of fun. Chicken fried chicken with mashed potatoes and creamy gravy, and they always serve it with green beans here. So who am I to argue with culture? I like green beans. Anyway, so, well, I have that meeting to go to. It's been lovely spending the morning with you. Thank you so much, or afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate it more than you know. And, you know, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. I'm begging you to get help. Begging you. Barter. Barter, barter, barter. If you don't have the money to get someone to wash your toilets, barter with somebody. Teach them to knit. Teach them to crochet. Teach them something you know. And let them go clean your toilet so you have other things to do. Please, I'm begging you. All right, say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central in the USA. Bye-bye. Please turn off. Please turn off. Please turn off. Please turn off.